The holiday meals are coming up, not just one meal, multiple holiday meals and snacks and goodies and all kinds of things. And now you're looking at this health and fitness journey you've been on, and you're looking at the holidays coming up, and you're finding yourself holding your breath and wondering, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen? And you feel that bit of pang, that anxiety kind of churning your stomach, making you feel a little nauseous about it. And you want to just go back to being a kid where you just enjoyed the holidays and didn't care about what you ate or what you did. But you don't want to sabotage all this great health work that you've been doing. But you want to enjoy the holidays, and yeah, you're not alone. I'm Lyn Lindbergh, and this is the Couch to Active podcast. And today we're going to look at something really important. How do we enjoy the holidays coming up, knowing that they're centered around food? And it's not just food. It's the fact that food is love, family traditions. Food is memories. Food is keeping people who've passed along alive and with us in our hearts, in our spirits. And how do we take all of that and turn it into a holiday that can still be healthy for us without being an ollie ollie oxen free? Everybody come on out, eat whatever you want. Yeah. How do we do this? And it's really easy, but completely misleading to hear someone say, well, it's all about priorities. If your health was just a priority to you, you would just do it. Grit, self-discipline, like, fine, that's great. If you can grit and self-discipline yourself through the holidays, you probably don't need this podcast. If you can go to your holidays and eat sad sticks of carrots and celery that just tastes like string and legit be totally happy, good for you. I think you're lying. I don't think you exist. The problem is, when it comes to holidays, the concept that I preach all the time, live a life you love, live a life you love. How is this helping you live a life you love? It falls apart and starts fraying at the edges a little bit, because a lot of times when it comes to sometimes life that we want to love, sometimes we have two things in conflict that we truly love. For example, I love to sleep in if I can sleep in. However, I also love getting paid for my job. I can't just sleep all day, which I love, and expect to also get a paycheck for my job so I can provide for my family. Those two are in conflict. So I constantly have to balance that. You love your couch. You absolutely love sitting on your couch and relaxing, but you also love having a home that doesn't burn down when the grandchildren get a hold of a box of matches and start lighting matches on a pile of sticks in the middle of your living room. Like, you love both of those things. You got to keep it in balance. So this is what happens with holidays too, right? We love what we've made progress for health. We love the pie. We love what we've made with our exercise and fitness goals. We love the wine and cheese and grapes and figs, or whatever that is for you. I'm just naming the things I love. We love waking up feeling all fresh and ready to go. We also love the buzz of the alcohol, right? I mean, these are things that are in direct conflict with each other. And so I want to give you some guiding principles that you can take into your holidays. If you're listening to this real time in the United States, we have Thanksgiving coming up. This is just the beginning though. And it's just the beginning of the rest of our lives, because if you add up all the holidays that people tend to celebrate in most nations, and you add birthdays, and you add anniversaries, you put it all together, it comes down really list them all out. Birthdays, anniversaries, special events, corporate event, whatever. It comes out most people to about 30 days a month. That is an entire, 30 days a month. Yeah, maybe it does come down to 30 days a month for you. It comes down to about 30 days a year. Yeah, let that soak in. Almost an entire year of our life. Wow, my Freudian slips today. Let me try that again. Almost an entire month out of our year are days that we tend to excuse. An entire month, that's just under 10%. So now I'm going to geek out a little bit on numbers and then we're going to bring it back to the stories. So if you eat perfectly, which nobody does, but if you eat healthily and perfectly, whatever that is, I'm not even sure what that is, but you know what I mean. If you eat perfectly, except for special holidays, anniversaries, etc., you're already 10% of your time eating like crap. And now let's say you eat perfectly except on the weekends. So that weekends, that's a good 20-25%, probably a good 25%. So now you're down to 35% of your time, you're eating off the rails, which really only leads you to about 65% of the time you're eating perfectly. So if you think you're eating perfectly except for weekends and holidays, you're already only at just above half. Yeah, preach it, honey, preach it. So how do we do this? Yeah. You're like, oh, that's why. Yeah, it's one piece of it. So let's take a good look at a few guiding principles. So getting to the holiday meals, you're there. You've walked in the door. You imagine who's in the room with you, assuming you've got a group with you. This could be a party, Christmas party, Hanukkah celebration, baby shower, wedding party, anniversary, anything. Right now, I'm just thinking holidays. I'm thinking Thanksgiving because tomorrow is Thanksgiving for me. Big meal. It's time to eat. You had no control over the meal whatsoever. Let's just say you had nothing to do it. You just kind of get what you get and it's all full of love and belonging. And you got to try this of Bertha's and that of Betty's, or they might get offended, right? Okay. Guiding principles. Guiding principle number 1. The people around you probably don't notice what you eat or don't eat as much as you think they do. And they probably don't care as much as you think they do. But wait, holy moly, hang on. You don't understand. My family? In my family? This is what I've heard. This isn't my family, thankfully. But a lot of families, they're like, nope. People say something. If I don't eat what they made, they get offended. Pause. I'm going to challenge you on that. Very likely, they actually don't care as much as they say, even if they're loud, even if they are rude to you about it, does not make you obligated to ingest that into your system. No, not obligated at all. You have permission to politely decline. And if you're in a position where they actually get mad and actually get offended that you didn't eat something and it actually hurts the relationship, that's a whole nother ball of wax to take a look at. Now, there's things we can do to, be grateful for the meals. There's things you can say like, oh, thank you so much. I would love to, but I just can't right now. Or I would love to, but my system won't let me. Or I wish I could, but my system just won't let me right now. And that's, you don't have to be allergic. You don't have to be intolerant. You could say to yourself, hey, I've got some health and fitness goals. And if I overeat, if I eat so much that it spikes my blood sugars in a way that's not healthy for me and actually hurts me, if I eat so much that it causes me to not feel good the next day, not get on with my goals, that is legit. Your system won't let you do this. So it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And it's hard because culturally, we feel like there's a lot of pressure. But when you push through it, especially the first year is the hardest. If you've got strong family traditions, that first year is the hardest because it scares people. Change is hard. If you come in and you have always eaten that pecan pie and now this time you're saying, no, thank you. And they're saying, yes, you will. No, thank you. Yes, you will. Here it is. I got that piece of pecan pie right in front of you. And you're like, actually, no, thanks. My system can't handle it. What do you mean? What's going on? I'm like, my health is not doing as well as I want it to. Ding, ding, ding. My health will not do as well as I want it to with that. So thank you very much. I love you so much. I love this time with you. Maybe you don't. So don't say that unless it's real for you. But yes, I am going to pass this time. That first year is hard because I love this. If you want to make enemies fast, all you have to do is change something. That's right. Whether it's a good change or a bad change, you just change anything and it raises people's hackles and they're like, what the heck is going on? Because it's scary. People don't like that change at all. So that's step number one. First of all, they probably don't notice and they probably don't care. If they do notice and they do care and they do make a great big freaking deal about it, it's okay to hold your ground. And know that very likely the very next day, they're not even going to remember the conversation. And if they do, that's a different ball of wax to deal with. So that's number one. They don't really notice and care as much. Number two, it's not your job to judge what other people eat. So in the same way that you don't want to be judged for what you choose and not choose to eat, you got to make gosh darn sure that you're not judging what other people eat too. So I'll go into my holiday. I'll pick out what I want to eat. I am not tracking food on Thanksgiving. I am not putting it into my little tracker. I know enough about what I can and can't eat so that I'll still feel good and I won't feel awful after eating too much. So, my goal, what I want to do is not eat so much that I'm miserable and regret it the next day. But I'm not going to worry about calories and I'm going to pretty much eat and taste whatever I want to. I'm also going to not mention or say anything to other people about the choices they have on their plate or food. Not at all. Keep the conversation about anything but that. Because I don't want to be judged for what I put on my plate. I'm not judging what anybody else puts on their plate. Because I don't know what they ate the week before. I don't know what they ate that morning. I don't know what they're eating tomorrow. So for me to do a one meal judgment, not the right thing to do. Not the right time to do it. So that's number two. Number three is a lot of mindset work. Number three is before you even get to this holiday meal, ask yourself the question, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? So when I pause and I visualize ahead, I visualize myself at this meal. I don't want to be obsessed, worrying, fretting at all about the food I'm eating or the food anybody else is eating or whether so-and-so brought something that was more or less healthy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want that. I want to love the others in the room with me. And I want to hopefully, in return, feel loved by them. That's the whole point for me. And really, That has nothing to do with the food. The food is a big piece of it. Culturally, absolutely, yes. The food is a way we express love, but I don't have to ingest any of that food. Well, I'm going to, but I don't have to. And I can still have a great time. I can still have a wonderful time with the people there. I can still love and be loved. Who else do I want to be? I don't want to feel sick. So I know that if I eat out of social pressure, the things that'll make me not feel good and make me feel sick and make my stomach just kind of turn and make me gassy and just make me feel kind of like hungover the next morning, whether or not I drink any alcohol, I don't want that. So I'm gonna take portions and portion myself so that what I first put on my plate is probably less than I think I want to eat. The reason I'm going to do that is because then I can always go back for more. That's the culture of my family, right? It's not like I better load up my plate or I'll never get more at all. Like, so the culture of my family is you get your plate and then you can, of course, always get more and more and more and more. So I'm going to take a little less than I think I need, give myself time to digest it. Then I can always go back and go more. That's who I want to be. I want to love, the focus be on loving people there, giving them hugs, spending time with them, listening to how they are, be loved, don't want to feel sick. Yeah. Okay. Then step 4. I need to know that any cultural changes that I'm making with the dynamics of this group, and I know for some of us, this is irrelevant, but for others, if we walk in, we don't even get to serve ourselves. We are served a huge plate and there's pressure to finish your plate. Ladies and gentlemen, we are adults. You's a grown up. You's all grown up. Your mama does not get to tell you how much you eat anymore. So if you still got your mama's voice in your head saying you must eat that up, do the work ahead of time to thank the adults in your life as a child for being there for you in the best way they knew how. For thanking for the people in your life for being there for you, albeit maybe completely flawed. They were there in the best way they knew how. And then say, now it's my turn. I get to mother myself. I get to father myself. I'm an adult now. I get to choose. And not only is it just not okay, it's the way it really should be. Now, last step. Leftovers. This can be a hard one. And I would put this in the realm of advanced holiday guiding principles around the meal. Yes, this would be the advanced section here. So if you're ready for the advanced stuff, you survived the holiday meal, you lived the life you wanted to live. And if you say, you know what, a life I love means total, complete gluttony for a day, and I'm going to feel sick for 2 days afterwards, and I don't care. That is what I want to do. I know what I'm doing. And you make that choice. That is your choice because you are your own mother. You are your own father. You get to choose how you live your life. Yes. Not even I get to tell you how to live your life. But the advanced piece, leftovers. Once the leftovers are dished out, if you are in a culture where you get leftovers and they're sent home with you, it is okay. It is okay to pause and say, how do these leftovers fit into living a life I love? And you get to choose what you do with them. This is the hardest part. And I have done a ton of this. And at first it was really hard. And now I mostly do it without even giving a second thought. And that is taking certain leftovers and just they go straight into the trash. That's right. I said it. Let me say it again. Certain leftovers go straight into the trash. You don't have to be a superwoman. You don't have to tell Aunt Bertha that I'm sorry, this highly toxic sugar Jell-O salad that's pure preservatives and food coloring and gross, nutritionally bankrupt extra sugar. If you don't have it in you to tell your Aunt Bertha, I don't know why I said Aunt Bertha. I don't have an Aunt Bertha. I don't know. So if your name is Bertha, my apologies if I offend. Okay. If you don't have it in you in the moment to not take that leftover home with you, if you don't have it in you to leave it and say, actually, I won't eat this. Thank you, but I won't eat it, and leave it. If you don't have that in you, it's okay to graciously say, thank you. I so appreciate your love and kindness. And then take it home and literally dump it off at the gas station on your way home. I mean, it's okay to do that. Now, I interviewed Lisa a few episodes back, and she had an approach to this that I really respected and I really liked. So Lisa comes from a fairly religious background, and the idea of waste and being wasteful with any kind of food, or what I like to say, this is my words, not hers, the idea of being wasteful with any kind of a substance that the body could digest for calories. Because I would beg that this, toxic Jell-O salad is actually not food. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. She had a great perspective. She said she would take the leftovers or the food or the thing that she was going to throw away. The donuts was her example. And look at him and say, thank you for what you brought into my life. Thank you for the love that you represent in my life. Thank you for being there. I'm sorry you're going to go to waste. I wish I didn't have to do this. But it's the best and right thing to honor my health right now, today. And then she would throw it away. Now, if it was me, I couldn't throw the donuts in the garbage. I would actually have to put them down the disposal, because otherwise the next day I would be digging them out of the garbage. Like, yeah. Oh, only me? You've never done that before? No? Okay. So for holidays, really that question I want you to ask yourself. Let's review this because it's important. It's important that you're able to go in and enjoy your holidays, enjoy your meals, like it, love it, and not leave feeling just like, bleh. Yeah. So your guiding principle is to really ask yourself the question, who do I want to be? Who do I want to be? And let that guide you. It's important because really owning who we want to be gives us that solid foundation that we can stand on. And so it's not about I'm offending so-and-so, or I'm being a jerk to so-and-so, or I'm rocking the boat. It's about, no, I'm being who I want to be. I'm honoring me. I'm honoring my health. Honoring my health is going to give me more freedom in my body. And let me tell you, friends, 70 is a magic number. When you're 70 years old, that is a magic number. The more people I work with, the more I realize that what you do earlier in years makes a massive difference in where you're at when you're hitting about 70 years old. So this stuff is important. It is important. It's worth it. You are worth it. You can do this. Changing it up, mixing it up, getting people used to the new you, because this is a part of the new you. You're changing who you are. Fundamentally, you are changing who you are. You're becoming someone who takes care of themselves. You're becoming someone who values their health more than whether or not they ruffle someone's feathers. You're becoming somebody who says, my health long term, my ability to take care of myself as I get older is more important to me than ruffling someone's feathers at a holiday meal. That's a big, profound change in your life. Who you want to become, knowing that gives you that foundation to be able to transcend beyond all the petty family stuff. And that feels good. So there you go, friends. I would love to hear any holiday meal ideas, questions you have as far as family dynamics, friend dynamics, how to work through it. Write in, call in, leave a voicemail, and I will answer those on a future podcast because this is kind of a big deal thing. Yeah, really a big deal thing. All righty. If you are considering a similar journey, I want you to know about a fantastic resource we have for you called the Week Zero Checklist. In this checklist, it talks through all of those lifestyle pieces that really are your missing link to figuring this out for you in a way that doesn't feel like it also derails your life at the same time. It's a simple checklist with a lot on it that you can easily digest, and we've priced it cheap, and then we marked it down even cheaper so you can get this checklist for only $7. That's right, the price of a latte nowadays, and I can't believe a coffee costs $7. Can you believe that? So if you want to get a hold of that resource, that's really your number one place to begin this whole journey. Head over to couch2active.com/0, ZERO, or the number 0 will get you there too. You can get that checklist, and that'll really help ground you in knowing what is your next best step to help you get a similar journey going for you. I'm Lyn Lindbergh, and this is the Couch to Active podcast. Head on over couch2active.com/0.